Hi, today we have another Nintendo Switch. This one doesn't power on, and this one, when connected to the charger, it gets 15 volts, but no power draw at all. 0.00, nothing. So I'm not sure what's wrong with this. Normally, I think it should get some power, but probably one of the power management chips. But yeah, we'll see. I'll take it under the microscope. I'll disassemble the whole thing, take it under the microscope, and we'll do some testing, and we'll see what we can do with this. Okay, so this I disassembled the device. Let's start with the basics. Hopefully you can hear the beep. So let's start with M92. So I'll start with this one. This is the CPU cap. So hopefully, actually, let's start with the fuse first. So again, I suspect the fuse is okay because we get 15 volts. So anyway, it is. So let's. By the way, I did check USB-C port and it does look fine. No problems there. So let's go ahead and start with M92. So this is the CPU cap. This is ground. So if this beeps, that's bad news. It doesn't. So it is good news. So this is the CPU cap. So it should be fine. So let's check the others. So ground, no short, no short, no short. They all seem to be okay. This one's fine. This one's shorted. And this goes to P13 USB, so I think P13 USB is just dead. Yeah. So M92 seems to be fine. Well, hopefully. Let's check the BQ area. This is fine. Okay. Okay. Ground there. Okay. And ground. So this one's fine as well. Okay. So I need to take out the board, and we'll check P13 USB. Okay, so the board is out. This is the P13 USB. Maybe I'll show you the USB-C port again, and I'll double check, just to make sure everything is okay. So as you can see, these pins seem to be fine. It's dirty, that's for sure, but yeah, I don't really see anything wrong on the USB-C port. So let's check the P13 USB. I'll just try and focus there. So one probe on the ground, and again we have a beep. So let's check. So this cap is most likely shorted. Yep. And let's check these. Oh yeah, they are all shorted. So we need to replace P13 USB. So let me do that now. Okay, so the fume extractor is on. I'll add some flux. Make things easier. And we'll remove the chip. Just like that. So the chip is out. Let's clean the pads and put the new chip back. So I'll add some leaded solder first, and this tip is probably too big, but it'll do. Yeah, I'll change the tip. This one's definitely too big. And I'll add some flux again, and just some fresh flux. That always helps. And again, I have new flux on the way, because as you can see, this burns very quickly. So that should do it. Let's remove that solder. That should be okay. I'll clean this off. We'll add new fresh solder, and we should be good to put the new chip back on. By the way, before we put the new chip back on, let me check for shorts now. And I'll check the filters again. Yeah. So, beeping. Do we have shorts? No, we don't. We're all good. Let's check the filters while we're at it. I'll clean the board, by the way. I know there's flux there, so let's start from this one. So again, we should have continuity between these two, but not across. So just like I'm checking this like that. So there's continuity there, no continuity there across. Continuity there. And this one's bad. No continuity across here. There is continuity here, but not right here. So this needs replacement as well. So let's focus on the chip now. So again, fresh flux. Should be enough. Let's add some fresh solder. Just like that, should be good. I'll clean this off again, and I'll put the new chip back on. I need to go over these pins at the top, and I need to remove some of this solder from the ground pad here. So let's add some fresh flux again, and Let's add some solder to the top pins first. Need to make sure they are all covered. Actually, let me rotate that, it'll be much easier. Yeah, just like that. There, they're all good. And now let's remove that excess solder from the ground pad. Just trying not to remove solder from the pads, just from that ground pad. That should be good. Okay, so clean this off again. All the pads look good, no problem there. So we'll put the new chip. But before we do that, obviously fresh flux always helps. That should be enough. So new P13 USB, pin 1 right here. So we should be good. I'll just put it roughly in place. Let me use other tweezers because these are no good for this task. Should be good here. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put the new chip back on. I'll hit the board first, just a little bit. Okay, so the chip is on. I'll let it cool down a little bit, and then we'll press the chip gently and we'll heat it up again. Okay, so chip is on. We'll need to go around and remove the excess solder. Seems to be okay, so let's remove the excess solder from the chip. And I'll need to use different tip. So let's go over this chip, just like that. I'll add some fresh flux. So the reason I'm doing this is, again, just to remove the excess solder, and also to make sure all the pins are connected. I need more flux on this side. Yeah, I'll grab another larger tip for that. Because I think these two pins are shorting out. Let's grab another tip. This one's larger, so should have no problem. Just like that. So, should be good. I'll clean this off and we'll check the pins. Okay, so this was the filter that needs replacing. So let's take it out the board. I'll add some flux. We'll heat it up. That's done. So this one's gone. Let's prep the pads while we're at it. So I'll add some fresh solder. So a little bit of fresh solder here. Okay, let's get rid of that solder now. Should be good. So we'll add fresh solder again. I'll just add a little bit of fresh flux. So I'll just prep the pads. There you go. We'll clean it off now. Should be good. I'll clean the board later anyway. So this pad, yeah, okay. So we are good. So now this is my donor board. So we'll take. Actually, let's add some fresh flux here first. Let's remove the this one. As you can see, I took one out already. Okay, so let's take this one out. It's out. And let's put it back on this board. So let me just heat up the board first a little bit. It's cooling down. So let's add this one here. Just wait until the solder melts so that the component sticks to it there. Just like that. I'll let it cool down for a moment. I'll gently press on it and heat it up again. And that's it. Should be good. Not sure about this part. I think I'll add some fresh solder here. Oh, more solder here. Actually, before we do that, let's test if it works. I'll just let my hot air station to cool down because it's there. So this is the beep. Let's check if this one works. It does, yeah. Okay, so let me just add a little bit more solder just to be 100% sure. Yeah. So we should be good. So I'll clean the board. I'll put it back in. Actually, no. Before we do that, let me clean this first. I just want to see if we'll get any power draw. So previously, as I said, this wasn't drawing any, absolutely no current. So hopefully we should see something. Obviously I need to connect the battery and everything, but I just want to see if this takes any power. It should, in theory at least. Let me turn off my fume extractor. Okay, so let me grab the tester and we'll see. Okay, so this is my tester. Sorry for the lightning, probably don't see it very clearly. But let's see if we can see anything. So, nothing on the screen right now, and I'm connecting the device right now. Looks good. It's 12 volts. I'm not sure if you can see it's 12 volts because my power supply can only provide that. But we see 0.09 amps. And I think this is actually okay. Well, at least there is some difference because previously it was 0.00. Okay, so let me put the device back in the shell, connect everything, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so I reassembled the device. I have my meter right here. Hopefully you can see it. Yeah, you should be okay. So let's connect power to the device and see what happens. There you go. Surprisingly, the battery, so it's booting. Yeah, all good. Perfectly fine. So again, just wondering why. Yeah, it should be fine. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen this issue where the power, there was no power draw at all, zero. 15 volts, no power draw, and P13 USB chip being at fault. I mean, I've seen P13 USB being at fault, but it usually it was either 0 volts or there was some current being drawn, but in this case it was nothing. So again, this one's fixed. I have a few more switches, so we'll see what we can do with those. Thanks for today. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you can, if you like my videos. Thank you.